Last summer, my husband Zach and I purchased our very first home. Luckily, the previous owners had done a lot of the big renovations, so we didn't have to like tear down any walls or do anything major like that. But we've just been kind of on a journey of just doing a lot of cosmetic things to help it match our own personal style and just put our own touch on it, which has been really fun. So like painting the walls, adding fun decorations, things like that. Zach and I both really enjoy interior design and just making beautiful spaces. So it's been a lot of fun just kind of making our home our own. Sometimes when you have a project or multiple projects in front of you, it can feel really daunting. I know that Zach and I have had many moments where we look at our list of like everything we want to do with the house and we're like, where do we even start? Maybe you felt a similar way when it comes to your harp playing. Like you just feel like there's so many things you have to learn, so many things to improve on, and it can feel a little intimidating just knowing where to start. I follow a lot of interior design accounts on social media, and sometimes it can be a little discouraging because I'll look at their beautiful pages, their beautiful homes, and think, oh man, like that's what I want my home to look like, but man, I have a long way to go. Like my home looks nothing like that right now. Maybe you can relate to watching other harp players playing online. You hear them playing music that you hope to play one day, but it just feels like it's going to be so long until you get to that point. But one particular design account that I follow on Instagram shared the concept of what she calls 5% Saturdays. So every Saturday, you choose one small project to work on. So it doesn't have to be anything big like painting an entire room or putting together a bookshelf. It can be something small as switching out like the hardware on your cabinets or, I don't know, pulling weeds out of your garden. Just something small that can actually make a big difference. Over time, those small projects add up and you end up transforming your home. To me, that feels a lot more sustainable than starting a bunch of new projects at the same time and tiring myself out and then leaving some of them unfinished or just feeling really discouraged about how many I have to do. And while I wish I could make my house exactly how I want it in a single weekend, this 5% rule has been a whole lot more sustainable for us. And part of the fun is that you just make a list for yourself. List out all the things you want to improve in your home and you get to take them off the list and have something to look forward to when you have some free time. It's honestly been a really fun creative outlet for us. But making your house a home takes time, just like your harp playing. If you're feeling overwhelmed by how much you need to practice or feeling discouraged by how far you feel like you have to go in your harp playing, I would suggest trying out the 5% rule for yourself. What if you made it a goal just to practice for 5 to 10 minutes a day? I realize 5 minutes isn't like technically 5% of your day, but you know what I mean. It's just taking that small step that will eventually, if you stay consistent with it, that will really add up and you'll see real progress in your playing. And if you start with 5 minutes, you may find that you get really into it and you want to practice for longer, but at least you know you've checked that off your list. You've got your 5 minutes in for the day. Or maybe you commit to learning a new skill every week or maybe even every month, such as like learning to play glissandos or a harmonic or learning to play from chords, learning cross unders. That way you don't feel like you have all these skills you need to master at once, but you're spacing them out and you actually have them to look forward to. So the basic idea is that you're taking small, gradual steps towards your goal. I think it's easy to kind of set expectations for ourselves that we should be further along than we currently are, especially when you're comparing yourself to other people. But the reality is that learning any new skill or transforming your home, it's a journey, like it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And as much as I look forward to having our house complete, whatever that really means, and doing all the projects that we have ticked off on our list, the reality is that I actually really enjoy the process of doing it. In fact, once we finish a project, we just finished kind of doing a makeover for our sunroom. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, what's the next thing? Like, what room should we do next? So there's always going to be something else. And it can be the same in your harp playing. So if you can look forward to the journey, to the process without putting the pressure on yourself that you need to be further along, but just trusting that the small steps you take every day or every week are eventually going to add up. Sometimes it's hard to see your progress day to day, but when you look back on it, you can see just how far you've come. We've done our best to take a lot of before and after pictures just to kind of look back one day and kind of remember like what the house looked like when we moved into it and just kind of see like the fruit of our labor pay off, like how we've transformed it and really made it our own. And you can do the same in your harp playing. I strongly suggest recording yourself. That way, even if you don't watch it right away, just set it aside, save it on your phone or computer, because you might just look back on it years from now and realize how far you've come. So I want to hear from you. What is something small that you can do today to keep making progress in your harp playing? Let me know in the comments.